Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and it is Wednesday the 21st of September. And boy, did we have to sell off today. I was totally shocked on that. Usually after the Fed days, we usually have a slow up day, but usually rallies afterwards. So this was kind of a surprise. I did think that they would go a little bit higher. I thought that we would go up here to this fake print that they threw out of 127.07 on the SPY, which is about 1270. It could have corresponded with this 100-day moving average, but they certainly fooled me there, and they stopped it at basically the 50-day moving average. At this point, I don't think they're going to get up to that fake print. I said for the last 2 weeks or more that actually, I've been saying it since we were in this range right here. I said we're going to get up close to the zero, then we're going to roll over. I got fooled in this area. I thought we was going to tank for sure, but we didn't. We did continue up. But at this point, we are now close enough to this zero level, as far as I'm concerned, to take the next major wave down. And we clearly have a nice negative divergence there, whereas here, with this little 3 bars of those histogram bars versus this here, that made a small negative divergence and from this move here, and I just didn't feel like that was enough. I kept repeating, and I thought we'd go up, and we did. But I think this was a sell the news event, and basically the rally we had from here all the way up, that was all already factored in with what Bernanke did, and then today they tanked it, and so at this point I think we can throw those prints out. I got to sit back and think about this, about the prints that worked and the prints that didn't. And over a year ago, the prints were working quite well, and we could just literally look at them and see them intraday, and they would just tag them perfectly. But the last print that was what I would call a significant distance from the price level at that day was the 138 what was it, 138.18 or something SPY print. We never did make it up that high. We never did. I kept thinking we would, and we never did. When we were in this range here, I thought we would go up to that 138, which would have been about 1380 here on the SPX. Never made it. Well, and now we have this 127.07 fake print, which we're not likely to make it, folks. I think this is it. I believe we are starting our wave 3 down. Now, it doesn't mean tomorrow is necessarily going to close negative, being it's Thursday. Most Thursdays are down, but then you got Friday, and this was such a large move down. There's possibility that it would just simply gap down and then come back up and close slightly positive, because it was such a major distribution day. But what the short-term charts are very oversold, so that's why I would think that it would probably turn back up and maybe close positive. But as far as I can see, I do not see it now going up to this 127.07 print. I mean, yeah, I guess it's out there, it's possible, but I thought that when we were over here with the 138 print. So that's 2 in the last several months that they have put out there that have not worked. This kind of indicates to me that that they, I guess, have caught on to it, that we are noticing those prints, and maybe they're changing them, and they are not accurate, and they are intentionally throwing out bad prints. That does not mean that they are not coded with information in them that only the insiders would have, because I do think that is the case. I think the high, low, closing, opening price have key information in them that tells the actual time and date that these prints would hit, and the level that it would hit. And probably in the old, over a year ago, it was basically you were hitting the level that the print was at, like back here. You know, when I first seen my very first fake print, it was right here, back in January of 2010, and literally it showed a fake print of 1047 or something, and we went right down that particular week, pierced through 1047 just a hair, and actually hit intraday 1044 on the momentum. And that's common on the fake prints, to the momentum will be so strong either up or down that it'll pierce it or fall a little short. And then literally, you know, they reversed and went all the way back up since then. So, but that print worked. Then throughout this whole rally in through here, the intraday fake prints would work. But as far as the upside fake prints, I didn't really keep a good record on them because we didn't have a lot of upside fake prints. During this whole rally up, I was getting these huge downside fake prints like 885 on the SPX, and you know, crazy downside prints, 8300 on the Dow. So it's almost like they're telling us a year in advance, you know, where they're going to take it. So I really didn't have any upside fake prints, but the only ones we've had so far have both failed. And that again was the more recent one of 127.07 on the SPY, about 1270 here, and I don't see it likely now. Same thing with what I thought would have been either this top or this top would have been 138. 138, I forget, 16 or 18 or something, whatever, on the SPY, about 1380. Didn't happen. So you can't trade off of these prints, but you gotta respect them and take them for what they are, and still look at the charts. The charts now tell me that we are ready to go back down. I don't think they're going to push us any further higher. I do think tomorrow will probably gap down and then it should recover and close with some type of you know, bottoming tail. Doesn't mean the bottom's in. It's just going to reset the oversold conditions and possibly close either slightly negative or slightly positive would be my guess, and then maybe up a little on Friday. But then we've got the full moon on the weekend, which is also coinciding with this the 25th, with this 6.5 reading here on the spiral dates. You get this high of a reading, you got to take this into account. So in September 27th is is it Monday? Let's see, 23rd is Friday. It's 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, 26 or 27. Okay, so that's a Tuesday. Then you've got this news of Obama leaving, and you know, leaving and going to where is he going to? I forget. Where's that thug going to? World leaders. Here it is. He is going from, here we go, from September 25th, okay, the over this weekend, and that's the same time when we hit that peak of 6.5 here again on this reading here, again on the 25th. And this is important because this is a combination of 5 different spiral alignments on the 25th, and you can go and read this from the spiraldates.com website. But you know, all that factoring in with Obama leaving here and going to be gone all the way through October 10th. That just and then Congress going on vacation. It's almost like they are running knowing that that the stock market is going to collapse, and they want to be on vacation while it collapses. And you know, that's possible. Here's the movie, which was what was this movie called? I just watched it last night. I watched it again. It's about a comet hitting Earth. I forget. Anyway, that movie, it was actually shot in 19. You can watch this video that's on this site right here. I'll post a link on the blog for you. But very, very interesting. that it has to do with common Elenin again, and I don't think this is the end of the world event. I really don't. I think that they meaning the gangsters, the thugs, are going to try to stage some event and blame it on Elenin, and I don't think Elenin has anything to do with it. I think it's probably a real comet, but I think we're being protected, as I said in my other video, a weekend video. I do think we're being protected by some good forces. But anyway, let's stick with what the charts are telling me, and let's go over the short-term charts. Obviously, I just told you here, we're approaching zero at any time. We're ready to break, and you know, it's not going to be too much longer. If I went and drew a line right here, a trend line, I'm disappointed. I really got surprised. I mean, I wasn't short the market or long. I was just kind of setting it out. I was just kind of waiting for a better entry, but they really kind of shocked me with that move down, because it started off oversold. But anyway, get my little pin thing out here. Where am I at here, dude? Where you at? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you can clearly see if we can draw some lines right here, roughly for this channel. You can see we don't got too much further to go before we hit this channel, and that's probably about where we're going to bounce, I would hope. So I would hope that the gap it down, maybe pierce it, and then come back up, maybe in close positive. I don't think it's. I really think by next week this thing is going to bust through this channel and this is gone. This we're going lower than this 1100. But what we might have had start today was the first wave one down, and then we'll have maybe a wave two back up tomorrow, and maybe a little bit on Friday or something like that, to get the short-term charts back into overbought territory. But it won't be very long from the looks of this. So if that's the case, if this is the start of our wave 3 down, then inside that wave 3 we would have maybe a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. 5 different waves inside of this wave 3. And of course you can subdivide it even more than that. But this could literally have been our first wave down. It might conclude tomorrow if we gap down and maybe pierce through this line some and maybe hit this 1140 area, and then come back up and try to close it positive. So that is the thought that I'm thinking of. And we're looking at these 60-minute charts right here, and we can see that what I'm talking about. You see how it's still got room to go down here? Now, when we are getting in this range with this 60-minute chart, now that the daily is rolling over, I want you to understand that you can expect it to go down here just like it did here, down to -20 and -30, because the daily is going to keep supporting it and pushing it back down. But that does not mean, though, that we could not possibly, gap it down here a little bit, maybe come back up here a little bit, and do one of these numbers. And so it'd go like this and maybe back up. I don't know if it's going to go positive. It's just speculation here. But again, we might be piercing through this, getting close to here, and coming back up, and maybe closing somewhere in that range to trying to save this line, save this all-important line. That's the key. And then maybe up the next day, which would kind of allow this to maybe go down and slowly then work its way up here. But I don't think it's going to go very much. I really don't. At this point, we're looking pretty bearish. And this would take us obviously into Monday. And then Monday, Tuesday at that point, then I'm starting to look for it to really go deep, and for this to really head its way down here and do one of these numbers as it did over here in this section. It really, there's nothing to say that we're going to curl back up. It could literally just keep right on going down, and the market could keep going down. It can stay oversold for quite a while. This was one nasty sell-off that I really was not expecting. And what I was looking at is, when I looked at this chart and was thinking that we would go up here to this 1270 area, about there, is because it was the measured move of this W pattern and this V, and everything looked fine until it collapsed. It is basically the same as an MA pattern. When you look at an MA pattern, here's your M, your A comes up, and then it comes back down, and you know, you can just draw a line through there so you can picture an A. Okay, this is a very bearish pattern. The level that it goes up to just cannot exceed this top. And then this right side that goes down like this commonly goes at least as far as one of these M's right here, starting from the point that it breaks down. That's where you get the MA pattern. Now, if you flip it upside down, you have a W pattern. And then you would have a WV pattern, where the V would not go down here anywhere below here. It could go, you know, this far or not quite as far, just as long as it doesn't go below it. And then it would go and break back up and break out. Well, that's what we had here when we went down, up, up, and I thought that we would come back down, back test here, and everything was looking good. Then we'd have our V pattern, and then we would bust out and go on up here to that approximate 1270 area, which was about where the 127.07 fake print was on the spot. Everything looked, yeah, I ran out of ink again and reset my pen. Stupid thing. So that's what I was thinking was going to happen, was that again, we were going to go down, up, man, I really ran out of ink, didn't I? Went to gray. What's up with that? And then you go up to, again, that area. Let's get back to black. Black. Okay. Anyway, it did not happen. This is a clear failure. When you do this and you do this and you come back and you're supposed to break out at this point and you failed, that's a clear failure of this MA or WV pattern. So now what pattern does it look like it could be? Is it changing patterns? Yeah, it kind of is. Now we're looking like we might have a little MA right in here. Which, so, you know, it's not that great on the middle there for the M part, but if this is the MA part, it could pierce through here again and maybe make either a little bit lower or just a little bit higher through there, then come back up here again, and at some point here it's obviously going to hit some resistance here in this area. I don't know how high it's going to get over the next 2 days, but if it does that and then comes up here for the A, then look out below on Monday, Tuesday, because that is it. You know, how many times do you hit on this trend line before you break down? It's hit quite a few times, and while they might try to save it tomorrow, if they did actually, you know, inject more money into the market, this is looking very, very bearish. So I think now we're having our MA pattern getting ready to form, which is the opposite of the W. And here you can see it quite clearly here on the 30-minute chart, much better. It's a very nice, very, very nice W pattern, and in there for your V, and boom, and it failed. So and then same thing here for the MA pattern. You can now, it's not a perfect MA, but you get the idea here. We'll go on down here, then back up, and that could all happen, some of that tomorrow. So literally, again, you see how far we're getting oversold here. So that could tell you that we went in this area here. That is about in this area here somewhere. So if we did the same thing, drop down here early in the morning, then started to curl back up, maybe get this into to roll over, and maybe, you know, into Friday. That's what I'm thinking. That possibly we could get a positive close tomorrow, and after gapping down some more, and then Friday tanking. So that would be my best guess. I don't think they're going to let it just continue down yet. But let's look at the weekly here. Oops. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly still obviously in a bear flag. We are still again ready. It's rolling over, as you can clearly see down here. It's rolling over here. Here it's working its way up, but you know it's going to go down here to probably negative 100 or negative 125. Might even set new all-time records. If you see, that was from 2009. If we hit that in October, you probably are going to see that even set new records. It very well could. but obviously we're still a major bear flag. I thought it would get up there and hit that area there, but it's not looking good. And let's see, I think we've covered everything here on the weekly. We're not even going to get close to zero. Matter of fact, I would be more to guess that next week we start heading back down here with some lower towers. And of course, I don't know if it's going to take this out, but my gut tells me once it starts going, it's going to take that out, and it's not going to have a positive divergence. It's actually going to just basically keep going down and getting lower trough lows. So no positive divergence, and that would obviously turn this right back down, keep heading on back down. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I don't see any, and the reason I say that is because based upon the monthly chart here. When you go look at the monthly chart, I mean, my goodness, it's a nightmare. You're just getting the bearish cross right now. Look at that. I mean, we're just now getting it. September's almost over. I don't think they're going to turn this puppy back up. Look at how far it's got to go down. Now, sure, at some point they might turn it back up and then curl it back. And what would that be? A nice M A pattern. Isn't that neat? That MA pattern just kind of shows up everywhere. But yeah, and this here is the biggest MA pattern of all. Boom, 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 with the projected low of, well, if this fake print is good, then 34.65 on the SPY fake print that they keep giving us is 346.50 on the SPX approximately. So that's pretty bearish overall. So, and we know there's a lot of stuff going down here through September and October, especially with things like that I did not really get to cover, that October 28th date. I don't want to make this too long of a video. I really want to make this mainly on the technicals here. But that October 28th date is, let's see if I can't go through that for you and just kind of touch on that briefly. This here, if I right click and view that image, I think I can do it. No, that's the website image. That's not really what I wanted to do. Okay, let's see, let's click on it again. This little nice chart here. Okay, there it is. Okay, this is obviously pretty important. Basically, they're saying that the October 28th right here is the end of the Mayan calendar, and that's 2011. That's not what everybody has been telling us, which is December 21st, 2012. That's the lie. This was when all 9 levels of underworlds, they call them, meet together on this date, and you basically will, I guess, I don't know, I really don't know what's going to happen. They speculate that you'll know all of your prior information that you've always known. They call it co-creation consciousness. I really don't know what to tell you is going to happen on that date, but we know that we have the Legatus pilgrimage, and that ends, the last meeting in Rome ends on October the 23rd, Sunday. Okay, we know that we got this happening, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we all become telepathic, and who knows what this means. I really don't know, but it's something big. Let's just say that. And so you've got, with the Legatus pilgrimage ending, then we still have that crazy December 7th Illuminati website and my fake print on my Wilshire chart that shows about a 4,000 point drop on December 7th. So there's a lot of crazy things going on the next 2 months, and at this point I'd say pretty much it's just get short and and ride it out. I think after our little move back up, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's Friday, like I said, I do expect some type of move back up, and it's mainly because, again, because of this 60-minute chart, I think, and the support lines being hit a fourth time. I think they'll pierce it again and try to recapture it. And if they pierce it and try to recapture it, I don't know if they'll recapture it, or maybe they just back test it, but I think by Monday, Tuesday, we're going to get ready to see the wave 3 that just goes and annihilates and takes out that that area there, that 1100 area. And you can simply call this your wave 1 down and your 2, and then here's your 3, and this whole big move is a wave 3. So I'm disappointed that this did not play out as a WV pattern, and at this point I don't think this print is any good anymore. So it is a fake print. Isn't that nice how they threw that out there? Maybe they meant for it to happen, but they just wasn't able to get it up. Maybe they need some Viagra or something. I don't know. So anyway, guys, that's about it. I don't want to make this too long. It's already too long of a video. I'm sorry. So I'm just looking for possibly to get short probably Friday over the weekend. I'll let you know. But I didn't get this one right. I missed it. But at least I wasn't long the market, which is good. So that is it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the blog and in the chat room at stockmarketbloggers.com.